don't put too much stress on your first kiss. It'll happen, but like it gets better, more funnier, and like
Yeah. And it only gets magical if you're actually in love with the person, like later on, after you've kissed them a lot. But usually the first kiss.
True. I prefer women, but I want a guy to force himself on me. I am open to trans women doing the same, but I don't see too many of them wanting. Oh, some of them do like work off the side because like some of them are actually sex workers. So like there's never a shortage for someone to take a nice 40-year-old hairy man aside and take him. just really take him.
Is one last kiss, but she won't let me have it. I want to get over her, but I can't. I need help. Hey, this is Morgan Rector. Join me and my co-host Rosanna Chilton for the Confession Post podcast. ConfessionPost.com is a website where users post highly personal content anonymously for the reading pleasure of other users. On this podcast, Rosanna and I read confessions from the site and give our analysis. You can listen to the Confession Post podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Rachel Telfor.
And I'm Michelle Gower.
We are the hosts of a new true crime podcast.
It is called Children of the Void.
The Void refers to children who are missing.
And children who have died under mysterious and suspicious circumstances.
Sometimes parents know nothing about what has happened to their child.
And sometimes they seem to know more than they let on.
Like Casey Anthony.
And the John Benet Ramsey case.
We are determined to do our part to find missing children.
And the truth when the story of their disappearance doesn't hold up.
Together, we will blast the shadows with light so that no more children disappear into the void.
Children of the Void debuts in September.
Join us so we can all make a difference.
Please subscribe.
Until then, I'm Rachel Telfor.
And I'm Michelle Gower.
You can catch Children of the Void on Apple, Spotify, YouTube,
and everywhere else you get your podcasts.
Hi guys, thanks for listening. Thank you as well to those of you who donate to the Patreon account. I've launched a campaign to raise funds to buy a new iMac. My current computer has been in use for over 8 years, and it is affecting my ability to create new content. As previously stated, my Patreon account can be found at www.patreon, that's patreon.com/Leader1, Leaderone. For those of you who would prefer to make a one-time single donation, there is also the option to send money to my PayPal account. The email address to send it to is Morgan Rector, my last name spelled Rector, 331, Morgan Rector 331 at hotmail.com. Remember, any amount is fine. If $1 one time is all you wish to donate, it would be gratefully accepted. Thank you for all your support, whatever forms it has taken. Enjoy the show. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in and welcome to the True Crime News. I'm Morgan Rector.
And I am, as always, Rachel Telfor.
So the Skylar Niece episode really hit you in the feels, I understand.
Yes, I had a little time to finish it up, actually, right before we just started recording. And within 15 minutes of listening to the last 15 minutes, I was very, very angry and yelling in my car and then crying. So you did your job, I suppose. I do know the case. I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, and for some reason, I only found this out after I finished completing the episode, but it's weird because those girls ended up in the same penitentiary. I mean, why should they get to continue their little love affair? You know, like, so jail sucks, but if your damn girlfriend is in there with you, I guess it's not as bad, right?
Well, I'm hoping that they're not anywhere near each other in the same cell block or able to see each other in any kind of outdoor activities or rec or anything like that, because I wish they were dead, quite honestly.
Well, I mean, I think the only way they can segregate you from other inmates is if you're like either on death row or if you're like one of the sex offenders in administrative segregation, because they know you'll just be shanked.
Yeah, in the common areas, I'm sure they probably see each other, which is bullshit.
Yeah, but these are just garden variety murderers, so I guess you don't. I mean, if anything, that would help them in prison to be known as a murderer. I mean, they killed for really stupid reasons too. So
they're cunt canoes.
Yeah, for sure. And to think that
everyone who doesn't like that term can just deal with it, because I'm not gonna stop saying it.
Oh, of course
Morgan
not.
knows I've been in a mood all week, and I told him, last week to open up the comments again, and which I'm thankful, because y'all who listen to True Crime News are epic, and those who support us are. But we did our first other podcast, and some of the comments were a little negative. But you know what? Those make me stronger, and they make me want to do better. So keep it up.
This is what it sounds like to paddle through the river of douche on the douche canoe.
On the douche canoe.
Here we go.
I love it. It's so great. I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But you got to be careful, because if you don't watch what you're doing, you'll end up running. You'll run into the big waterfall of douche.
Oh.
You're just gonna drown under that thing.
See, that's when you have a really, really horrible person.
And you don't want to go through the rest of your day smelling like vinegar. Like
Yeah.
So.
I like that. That's good.
So in terms of that, the Skylar Niece thing, like, is there something dark that lurks in high school girl friendships, female friendships, where there's a lot of drama, or was that germane to that trio?
No, I definitely think there is a lot of high school drama between all boys and girls, just because you're at such a critical time of changing, and your emotions and your hormones are just raging out of control. So you kind of don't know how to deal with them yet. You're learning how to deal with them, and if you don't have the proper parental guidance in place, or mental stability, any kind of mental illness, anything like that can kind of maybe go the wrong way at that time. I think it's a very critical time of your life. So no, we definitely had rivalries and tumultuousness, but not to the point where I would ever stab somebody hundreds of times with a knife. That's where the mental illness comes in. So,
well, several years ago, I was speaking to a girl that I went to junior high with, and it's funny because she told me about something I was completely unaware of at the time. But she told me that this girl and her friends were just like ruthless. They would just berate her about her looks and just put her down. I mean, actually, the whole school was doing it. Like, this girl was considered to be like one of the ugly girls, which is really exaggerated. But anyway, yeah, she said there were these particular girls that were just totally without empathy, and they would just lay into her and destroy self-esteem. Yeah.
I can think of more than two handfuls of instances in my high school and elementary, well, my entire school, 12-year school career
Yeah.
experience rather, where I've seen bullying. I was bullied on a regular basis, which is why I try to have that conversation with my kids. Again, yes, I will be always talking about my kid. Sometimes I hate people.
Yeah.
You have to always talk about your kids. Yeah, they're
And
probably
when you're like a 13 or 14-year-old female, your looks are such a huge issue too, right?
Everybody's are.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, totally. And I wasn't allowed to wear makeup, and some parents don't let you wear certain things, and then the school doesn't let you wear certain things. And again, you're just going through you might have teenage acne, or you haven't grown into your body yet. It's just a whole plethora of shit. And when you're being bullied, it's just not a good feeling, and you don't know how to deal with that. So you know what? Don't be a bully. Teach your kids not to be bullies. Teach them to stand up for kids that are being bullied.
Yeah. Were you allowed to wear the midriff bearing shirts?
Oh, God, no. I got sent home one day because our school had a policy where if girls were wearing skirts and you put your hands down to your side, it had to be at least at your fingertips or below. And I happened to be a thin blonde girl, so I wore this skirt. It maybe was a quarter of an inch too short. Meanwhile, there's all these other girls that are wearing things way shorter.
Was this a Catholic school?
No, it was a regular high school, public high school. And they sent me home and made me change.
Wow. It was Florida, man. I mean, you don't want to cover up too much.
Speaking of Florida, man.
Yes, this episode. So there's this game people have been playing on the internet. It seems to have been going on for quite a while now, but what you do is you put in your birthday, not that you don't include the year, but the month and the day, and then you type in Florida man and see what comes up. And it turns out this was like the easiest pack of stories Rachel and I were able to come up with. But before we go into them, I actually found an article on Esquire, and this is just from 2019, some of these Florida man headlines. And the little tagline they wrote underneath the title was, "Whatever insanity is happening in your state, Florida has done it with an alligator and possibly some amphetamines," which is often true.
Have never been spoken.
Exactly. So these are just headlines. January 1st, Florida man shooting at target in backyard hits neighbor sitting at dining room table. Wow, talk about bad timing.
That probably happened in my city.
Maybe. January 2nd, Florida man doesn't get straw, attacks McDonald's employee. January 3rd, Florida man arrested at Mar-a-Lago says he came to talk to Trump about his $6.3 trillion. January 4th, Florida man arrested after hitting dad with pizza because he was mad he helped birth him. Wow, that's
a good one.
It's just a lose-lose.
Dude, like, why did you bring me into this world, you dick? Bam.
Must have been one stale pizza slice, I guess. January 5th, Florida man killed ex-girlfriend while trying to get rid of the devil. Did we do? I think that may have been.
I think we did that. Yeah. Don't go through too many of them. You might give away some of my stories.
January 6th, Florida man intentionally drove Ferrari 360 into the ocean at top speed. Wow. Now, I don't see why that should be considered a crime. It's wasteful, but then if he has a Ferrari,
it's a crime.
Yeah. The only thing, I guess, if I were to dissuade someone from doing that, it's because I think water pressure can prevent you from opening the doors. So that could be a bad idea. January 7th, Florida man denies syringes found in rectum are his. Oh. Just for a friend of mine, I guess.
Okay.
January 8th, Florida man arrested after argument over cheesesteak. January 9th, Florida man accused of burning son to teach him lesson about fire. January 10th, Florida man allegedly fooled family into believing murdered wife was still alive. Well, I don't know how you talked them
I
into
want
it.
to know more about that story.
Yeah. January 11th, Florida man chews up police car seat after cocaine arrest.
I remember that story.
Yeah. January 12th, Florida driver finds boa constrictor in his car engine. That may not necessarily have happened because of somebody putting it in there, right? Like a snake.
No, that 100% could happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Snakes get into really, really weird spaces because I guess they're snakes. But at my old house, I remember we had an electrical problem one time, and I had gone outside to check one of the boxes. It was in by my air conditioning unit, and it's like, so picture it was a box about 1.5 feet tall by 1 foot wide, and it's just where some, I don't know what you call it. I'm not a freaking electrician, but I had to open it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I open it up, and I swear to God, the snake probably was a good 4 to 5 feet
Wow.
long, all wrapped up around all of the things in this box, and I noped the fuck out of there real quick. Even though
So
I'm not really afraid of snake, I'm not afraid of snakes if they're on the ground and they're, I know they're not poisonous, but that was a little too. It was a little too startling for me.
So the snake caused the air conditioner to break down?
It wasn't the AC. It was the something with my electricity, and actually, no, that had nothing to do with it. I figured out what it was.
Okay.
So I got traumatized for nothing. But it wasn't it was very coiled up in this nice little tiny dark spot on the side of my house.
Did you have to get animal control to come and take it away?
No, I closed it. Well, I didn't leave. I left it a little bit open and I just went inside and hoped that it went out.
Well, it's going to have to leave eventually, or else it's not going to
Exactly.
be anything to eat in there. So,
Right. So
all right. January 13th, drunk, shirtless Florida man harasses people in the park. I think we might have done that one. January 14th, Florida man threatens to kill man with kindness, uses machete named Kindness. I think we did that one. That was funny.
that might be in the one.
Well,
No,
funny from the premise stage, not in the outcome.
right.
January 15th, Florida man causes highway crash, steals Good Samaritan's truck, who stopped to help. Wow, what a dirtbag. January 16th, Florida man who drove Ferrari into water, must be the same guy, he said Jesus told him to. So I guess he thought he could drive on water. So
I guess.
yeah. January 17th, Florida man accused of luring kids tells cops he can't recall as he drinks 18 to 20 beers before talking to children.
Oh, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
nice guy. Yeah, nice truck.
Also, I hope that the Ferrari guy had good insurance.
Yeah, I don't know if they would cover for something like that, for deliberately driving into the ocean. Yeah.
Probably not.
January 18th, caught on cam. Horses chase suspect in Florida. Now that I would like to see. I might look that up, see if I can watch that.
Yeah.
January 19th, Port Richey man accused of throwing chair across Steak and Shake. Have you been to one of those? Have you been to that restaurant?
Yeah, we have one real close.
Yeah,
they're good.
Good steaks, yeah.
Well, no, steak. It's burgers actually.
Oh,
but they're steak burgers and they're flippin' delicious.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, like ground up steak.
Yep.
January 20th, man vacationing in Florida finds hidden cameras in his Airbnb. So that's creepy. But they probably put them there to watch the women.
Well, I actually, every time I go into an Airbnb, after I walk around the house, I will always go around and look in weird spots for cameras. I'm not able, it's because I guess I do this for pastime, but I definitely look.
A lot of people who've stayed in Airbnbs have had creepy things happen and bad encounters with the owners of the place, and so that's what you get for saving money, I guess. January 21st, Florida woman run over by patrol car while lying in road to watch eclipse. Well, if you're going to be that stupid, that's pretty much a penalty, I guess.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I have 100% more than once laid in the middle of the road to look up at the stars with.
You've done that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
were in neighborhoods, so it wasn't like a very busy street, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is a problem across America or not, but when I went to Tennessee, the woman I was in a relationship with, her son was hit by a car. He was walking to school like early in the morning, and it was pitch dark, and there were no street lights, and that's why he was hit by the car, and I don't understand why there wouldn't be any street lights. Like, is it or I don't mean to.
They're just not every. When I was in high school and I walked to school in the morning, because high school starts at like 7:15, so you have to be at the bus stop at like 7 or 6:20, which is dark.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no streetlights. It was very dangerous.
Why,
Looking back at it now,
has that situation improved?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot more light shed on it, and then the places where the bus stops were, because some of them were just in really inappropriate high traffic areas. And I guess finally, I mean, it's been so long since I've been to school, and my kids don't ride buses, so I'm not sure how the laws have changed, but I do believe that there has been quite a few changes.
Well, I'm not going to get political, but
Yeah.
the money they spend on streetlights, that's not a handout. That saves lives.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why there are all these places where they don't have streetlights. That is just mind-boggling, especially in such a wealthy country. But anyway, moving on. January 22nd, Florida man caught exposing himself in Walmart pillow aisle.
Oh.
Got a little too comfortable there. January 23rd, North Florida man beat, pepper sprayed mom because she was a narcissist. Maybe you could understand that one because you.
I don't hate him for that, to be honest.
I guess he felt like she needed a wake-up call.
I have those feelings too, sir, but I have not acted upon them.
Yeah.
Well, not about my mom, but.
Okay, January 24th, Trump will handle it. Florida man has warning after harassing Iraqi neighbors. Oh, that's not nice. It's not good.
Racist pieces of crap.
January 25th, Florida man driving unregistered ATV ran over dog. January 26th, Florida man finds a World War II grenade, places it in his truck, drives to Taco Bell. Oh yeah, sure. That's a brilliant thing to do. That's the right place to take it, where the public are assembled. Just go to that fucking pawn shop in Las Vegas where they have Pawn Stars. Get them to pay you for it. You know?
I used to love that show.
Yeah, me too. January 27th, the World War II story was so good that it dominated headlines for a second day. This rare distinction is called the Florida Spark. Have you heard of the Florida Spark?
I have not.
No. January 28th, Florida man learns hard way he stole laxatives, not opioids.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, boy. January 20th.
But that was an explosive night.
Yeah. Practically fireworks. January 29th, Florida man accused of robbing Chinese restaurant at finger point. Now, I don't know if he did it with his finger inside his pocket or how he accomplished this. I would almost give him an easy sentence just to kind of acknowledge if he could pull that off. That's pretty amazing.
I think it was probably in his pocket, but that's still a threat if they don't know it's not real. So.
Well, it's America. You never know. It could be a real gun in there. So.
Florida has very strict gun laws, 10/20 life.
And they're not working, clearly. So.
Clearly. Right.
January 30th, Florida man spent weeks in jail for heroin that was actually detergent. That's a crime. You ripped off your drug clientele, I guess. January 31st, Florida man thought he'd do donuts on the airport runway. Police were not amused. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine.
Nope.
February 2nd, man stabbed in the back at Gainesville bar over remark on a hat. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a mega hat. I don't know. Possibly.
Probably.
February 3rd, wig helps lead to arrest of Florida man in 7-Eleven robbery, deputies say. So the wig he was wearing, I don't know if that was for a disguise or what, but they busted him. February 4th, Florida man attacked sister, bit cop after someone touched his cigar. Wow. Touchy. Must have been like a Cuban or something like that.
Probably.
February 1st, a man actually punted a rabid coyote in Kissimmee. Whereabouts is that?
Near Orlando.
Orlando, yeah. February 5th, Florida men accused of smearing feces on Crunch Fitness bathroom and sauna.
Gross.
Wow. February 6th, Florida man tried to run over son because he didn't want to take a bath. I imagine parents can get frustrated about it, but that's a bit much.
It's a little aggressive.
Yeah. February 7th, Florida man dances through DUI sobriety test.
That probably happens a lot, to be quite honest.
Well, I guess if you can dance on a straight line, maybe you can pass.
Let's make it fun. Yeah.
Yeah. February 11th, Florida man recording himself having sex with a dog.
Okay.
So he forgot to not do that.
If you come across one of my headlines, I'm going to be furious right now.
February 12th, Florida man throws burrito in woman's face, cops say, and this has happened before. He has a history of violence with Mexican food, apparently.
Oh, specifically.
February 13th, Florida man fights to keep last $809 after IRS seizes bogus $980,000 tax refund. And
what?
He somehow
got $980,000 by accident and then fought to keep some of it. Oh,
it doesn't say how he did it, but he duped the IRS into giving him a tax refund for $980,000, which I wish I could figure out how to do it now that they're taking my YouTube money and soon they're going to be taking PayPal money as well.
It might have been an accident. It might have been their mistake.
Could have been, yeah. February 14th, Valentine's Day, Florida man caught on camera licking doorbell. So he should have waited for his date to come out, I guess.
I heard about that too.
Oh,
I think that might have been close to me.
Oh. February 15th, Florida man claiming people were eating his brains leads police on insane golf course chase. Wow. He should have just gone to your zombie festival.
Yeah, right.
Waited for that,
Yeah, exactly.
February 16th, man on scooter killed in collision with deer on US 1 in Oak Hill. I guess so. I mean, the deer gets frozen, staring like they're caught in the headlights. If they're not going to move, you could probably get hurt, but that way.
Yeah.
February 17th, Florida man charged after pointing laser at helicopter. Assume they mean laser pointer.
Yep.
February 18th, rattlesnake carrying Florida man claims to be agent of God. All right. February 19th, here's another pizza crime. Florida man throws pizza slice at mom during argument. I don't know if that's connected to the one I mentioned.
I wonder if it is.
February 20th, Florida man fights coyote off with coffee cup. And he said, I smashed him. Well, if the coyote was attacking him, you can't fault him for that.
He was probably trying to have some morning coffee, and if a coyote comes to my front yard, I sure as hell I'm going to hit him with my damn coffee cup too, so good on him.
Yes, if an animal attacks you, you have a right to abuse the animal. It's trying to abuse you, right?
Well, if it's coming into my yard and it's going to attack me while I'm having my morning coffee, and that's all. Yes, one definitely happening.
Or try to attack your kids, right?
Or my animals.
Yeah, that's when the lioness starts to growl, and
the lioness is always a second away.
Right. February 21st, Florida man arrested with cocaine stuffed Lunchables.
Oh, well, that's dangerous.
February 22nd, Florida man throws toilet through school board building window in Illinois, is arrested sitting on another. So they would.
Well, that's you gotta be really strong to pick up a toilet.
Yeah. Well, I guess they just thought, okay, search all the toilets in the area.
Jesus.
Florida man charged with death of grandma found in maggot-infested bed. Wow, that is fucked up.
Did we cover that story?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
I'll have to look.
Florida man arrested for allegedly throwing cookie at girlfriend. Well, if it was like an Oreo cookie, it might have hurt a little bit.
Oh no, maybe he was just trying to feed her because she was hangry.
Yeah, maybe. February 26th, arrested Florida couple pleasure each other in back of cop car. Wow. Mm-hmm. February 27th, Florida man sprayed other inmates with urine. But, I think that's kind of a common thing in jail. A lot of guys weaponize their urine.
Yep.
So
That's all they
February
have.
28th, Florida man allegedly threatened family with Coldplay lyrics and standoff after SWAT promised him pizza. Wow, that's
Uh,
a strange day on the beat.
oh no, we haven't done this story, and I'm totally gonna do it next week.
You don't like Coldplay either, eh?
No, the maggots one.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is an interesting one for you as a woman who has had children. March 1st, Florida House Speaker apologizes for referring to pregnant women as host bodies in interview on abortion.
Wow.
Do you find that offensive?
If you, taken in the context, yes.
Well,
If it were just, it's a funny thing if you're just saying like, okay, because technically you are a host body, you know.
It's reductive, yeah.
But if you're doing it regarding, if you're a politician and it's legislation using it against women's rights, and sorry, we're not going to get political, but yeah, then I do find it offensive.
Well, yeah, there does seem to be a viewpoint among pro-life people that once the baby is conceived, the mother almost doesn't seem to matter. Like her rights don't seem to matter. It's the baby now is the most important thing, but they are attached to the mother. And
don't even go down this wormhole right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
Really don't. I'll be triggered, and I don't want to lose listeners.
All right, March 2nd, Florida man sentenced to 10 days for dragging shark behind boat. Well, March 3rd, Florida man rescues grandma floating away on ice throne. That could have been amusing. Oh, here's one I was thinking of you when I came across this.
Were these all from this year?
No, these were from 2019.
You're gonna make
just 2019. This was in an Esquire article. March 4th, Florida man arrested after fight about Tupac Shakur.
Now I'd be fighting over that too.
Oh, you'd be doing that too. So if someone dissed Tupac, you'd step to him, right?
I have gotten into an argument with a friend, a legit argument over Tupac and Biggie.
God damn.
I'm sorry to admit it, but it has happened.
What do you think of the conspiracy theory that they were killed by the government, or that the police never looked for their killers?
I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about them, but I know a lot of rappers have like gang ties, and so sometimes these murders happen, and when you're in a gang, you're pretty well protected for the most part.
It was so much more than that. There's a couple of really great podcasts about the rivalry between those two that you could watch that are done very well.
They didn't like each other.
It's a long story. They used to be friends, and then yes, they became, just one's dissing the other, and there's all these theories, and I've read up a lot about it just because Tupac's one of my favorite artists.
Oh, you know what's really crazy is MC Hammer almost had a rapper killed. I mean, you can't touch this, because he has ties to like the Crips, I think. But yeah, MC Search of Third Base, I don't know if you knew about them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they dissed him. So he was going to have them killed, and that's fucking Hammer,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also Tupac, I know he was friendly with Suge Knight, and I guess they had business dealings too. And Suge Knight is a fucking homicidal creep. He's just a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God he's in jail.
Yep.
I don't know if it's true that he dangled Vanilla Ice from a balcony once, but that was a rumor that went around.
I wouldn't put it past him, but who knows?
Okay, so it's funny. I mentioned the fake grenade thing, or no? That was the real grenade story?
Yeah, real grenade.
Okay, so there was also March 5th, leaf burning Florida man asked cop, "Did you find all my pot?" Whoops. March 6th, a Florida man actually tried to board a flight to Orlando with a fake grenade. I don't know why you'd get in trouble for that, but maybe it's just in the post 9/11 world.
9/11, you don't, especially since we're just 2 days past that, and
yeah. Well, I mean,
hard every year.
They make you take your damn shoes off, even if you're like 99 years old and can't get out of a wheelchair. they'll do that. So I guess you're not going to be able to get on with a fake grenade.
No.
Central Florida man broke into home, fell asleep on couch while high on meth. March 9th, man arrested after fight over beachfront wedding pictures. March 10th, Florida man who attacked McDonald's worker over straw sentenced to jail. So there's consequences. March 11th, Florida man accused of intentionally pressure washing his neighbor. March 12th, Florida man in Spider-Man mask steals bottles from liquor store. March 13th, drunk, shirtless Florida man harasses people at the park. March 14th, Milton man hit pregnant girlfriend with bag of tortilla chips over baby's paternity. Should have just taken her on Maury,
Yep.
So Milton, that's in Florida? Because they didn't say Florida there.
Must be one of those random cities I don't know about.
Oh, okay. March 15th, Florida man finds bright green iguana in toilet, calls 911. Do you have wild iguanas there?
Oh yeah. Yes.
But they don't
Yes.
hurt humans, right? They don't.
No.
They eat like insects and fruit and yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not dangerous.
Oh, you wouldn't.
Unless they hit, wait a second, one of my favorite things in the world, because they're actually an invasive species and they're not supposed to be here, but people, of course, get them, just like the Burmese pythons, and then they let them go. So now we actually have quite a population of iguanas that aren't supposed to be here. However,
Oh, wow.
this is the greatest thing. I swear to God. When it gets cold, they literally have to put a warning out on the news that the iguanas will get rigid and they'll fall out of trees and hit people.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're walking through a little forest glen.
Like they
and
just they because they're warm-blooded or cold-blooded
Yeah.
rather. So when it gets cold, they're like, just beware that iguanas can fall and they're not really dead. They're gonna warm up and come back to life, but be aware that this can happen, which is hilarious.
Wow, raining iguanas.
Raining iguanas.
March 16th, Florida man breaks into store, flips off security camera. Well, he's good.
I'm pretty sure that happens every goddamn day here.
Yeah,
So.
probably everywhere. March 17th, Florida man who burned caged cat, fed it to dogs, gets no jail time. Well, that one's going to piss everyone
All right, well,
off.
give me that guy's name because I'm going to have to do some research on that.
Yeah. March 18th, Florida man accused of throwing pancake batter at woman arrested. So he got arrested, but the guy who did, burned the cat and fed it to dogs didn't get any jail time. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
March 19th, Florida man accused of exposing himself to Sammy's Exotic Dancer. So Sammy's is a strip club, I take it.
Yeah, and also don't do that because it's rule number 1. Being in a strip club, you idiot.
March 20th, squirrel attacks Florida man. Rodent was raised by neighbor. I'm wondering if the neighbor raised the squirrel to attack his neighbor. I wonder if he did that.
Probably did.
Yeah. March 21st, Florida man shoved woman because he wanted to eat egg rolls in her house. Damn.
Okay.
I love egg rolls.
I love egg rolls.
March 22nd, Florida man Googles self to find out which Florida man he is.
That's good.
Wow. March 24th, Florida man steals hot air balloon from Indiana during Florida Man Challenge. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of the Florida Man Challenge?
No, but it sounds stupid because we don't need a challenge because there's enough of them.
March 25th, Florida man electrocuted trying to remove bird from power line. Poor guy. That was a nice thing to do. And
No, it's not. They live on power lines. That's where they freaking sit all day long.
well, the bird must have like a broken wing or something, couldn't get off or.
No,
Yeah.
listen.
March 26th, South Florida man calls cops after being scammed over paid sex. March 27th, Florida man calls 911 to get out of his fast food shift, cops say. I don't know what they expected them to do, but I don't know if he wanted them to go to the manager and say he got hit by a car or something. March 28th, a Florida man's job application led to his arrest in a 1998 cold case. Oh, not bad.
Ooh, that's good.
March 29th, Florida man shoots and kills pet zebra he did not have a permit for after animal escapes. See, he should have had a talk with the with Joe Exotic
Joe
to find
Exotic,
out
yeah.
how to keep exotic animals.
Right? Well, because he did so well.
Yeah, March 31st, Florida man arrested for stealing nearly $6,000 worth of sunglasses.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Well, it is
Okay.
the Sunshine State.
It
So,
is.
do you have any theories why there are so many fucked up people in Florida? Is it the heat?
I
Is it heat stroke or something?
no, I just think that because of the, always warm weather, people are drawn here. And then, a couple of years back before we had the very, very strict laws on opiates, there's a lot of addiction
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. Bath
I mean,
salts.
not saying that there's not addiction to other places, but this just happens to be a place like, I mean, if you're up in a northern state, and in Canada, during the winter, it's freaking freezing cold. So you don't want to go out and commit crime because it's too fucking
Yeah, yeah.
cold. And here, we really don't have that problem. So maybe there's just more opportunity, or I don't know. I don't know.
I think it was the epicenter of bath salt addiction. I think I'm.
Probably. And, yeah. That zombie, I want to cover that story one day. I was so obsessed with that zombie guy in Miami who ate
Yeah.
the guy underneath the overpass. That was freaking the craziest shit I've ever seen.
And now on to the regular story format. The headline of my first story is bullet.
Wait, you didn't. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So
Yeah.
we Googled our birthdays. That's right. Okay.
Bullet lodged in Florida man's testicle after wife shoots him for cheating.
Oof.
So a Florida man was left with a bullet stuck in his testicle after his wife allegedly shot him during a recent confrontation over a purported affair. According to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, 60-year-old Victoria Reed forced her husband to sit on the couch while she threatened to maim him, kill him, and give him post-traumatic stress disorder. That's an interesting threat.
She threatened to give him post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah, when's the last time someone threatened to do that?
I don't think that's something you can threaten to give. It's just kind of happens or doesn't, ma'am.
You're going to have flashbacks from the rest of your life. You're not going to be able to be intimate with anyone.
And also because we're doing a Florida show, it's Brevard County.
Yeah, of course. Oh, Brevard.
Sorry.
A condition So yeah, she threatened to give him PTSD, a condition she also suffers from, to punish him for supposedly cheating on her. So I guess they don't know for sure if he actually cheated.
Oh, so she suffers from PTSD.
Possibly. Well, maybe she was cheated on and now she's like really paranoid about it, like Catherine Knight,
Oh.
The bullet she eventually fired struck him in the knee before traveling up his leg and lodging in his testicle, authorities
What the
said.
hell?
Reed was arrested Wednesday on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and aggravated assault. Her husband's condition is not known, and he probably doesn't want to talk about it, too.
Sure not. He probably does have PTSD now.
That is a sensitive, sacred area down there, and to take a bullet in those, that would be hard just to think about. So
it says she shot him in his knee and it traveled up. How does that happen?
Well, she may have meant to shoot him there.
But how did it travel?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it had to do with the angle, because he was sitting down, so the bullet must have.
I get. Okay, never mind. I got you.
Because when you consider how fast bullets travel, right?
I'm sitting here thinking like she shot him in the knee and it just like started taking its own path. I'm so stupid.
Or like a winding
just delete that whole entire sentence.
like it's a game of snakes and
ladders.
Yes.
I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry. Shit.
All right, what's your first story?
All right, my first story is Florida man accused of killing dancing flamingo is hit by truck and killed before trial. So the man accused of killing Pinky, a well-known and beloved flamingo at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, was hit by a truck and died before his trial on charges related to the bird's death. Joseph Carreo, 48, was hit by the truck in Orlando. A crash report said he was walking across State Road 50 shortly before 6 a.m. when a Ford F-150 pickup struck him. He was 2 months away from an animal cruelty trial stemming from Pinky's death. Carreo allegedly grabbed the Chilean flamingo from its pen and slammed it to the ground, forcing zoo staff to euthanize her because of the severity of the injuries. Pinky, who was born in the park in 1996, was a fixture at Busch Gardens in Tampa, where she was known for entertaining guests with her dancing. Quote, Pinky loved to dance for our guests. Park spokeswoman Karen Vargas-Cinca told NBC6 at the time of her death. Quote, her keepers say that this is not a trained behavior, but a natural behavior she loved to show off. Quote, flamingos are filter feeders, using their beaks to strain nasty morsels out of the water around them as they wade. To stir up the tastiest treats, flamingos will stamp their webbed feet. Pinky often performed this toe-tapping behavior out of the water for guests, she explained. Carreo told police that he didn't mean to hurt Pinky and he was just throwing her off to his daughter, or showing her off to his daughter. Okay, no, that's a lie, sir. He spent 4 days in jail on felony animal cruelty charge before being released on a $2,000 bond. In addition to her tap dancing abilities, Pinky was an ambassador animal appearing on behalf of Busch Gardens conservation and education initiatives. She will be sorely missed, Vargas-Cinca said.
Is the flamingo a protected species in Florida?
No, not that I know of.
Also,
I don't think they're native to Florida, to be honest.
So he was charged, I guess, because he basically destroyed that company's property.
Yeah, well, he killed. Yeah, he slammed it to the ground, so that's animal cruelty. But then he was hit by a car and killed. So
I love flamingos. I think I may even had seen a couple when I was in Florida. So yeah, I like them.
I've actually walked. So I might have been at Busch Gardens, to be honest with you, or Disney or one of those theme parks, and they were walking a little group of flamingos through the park to get them to another spot. And it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, they're just walking through, and you're like, you look over, and there's a little trail of flamingos walking through. I'm like, okay, but yeah, so karma hit him quite literally, very quickly.
Oh yeah. Leave the flamingos alone.
Leave the flamingos alone.
Rabid coyotes. Yeah.
Exactly. What do you got next?
The headline is Sheriff. Florida mother shot burglar who entered home because, quote, dinosaurs were chasing him. So here we go. Deltona, Florida. Not Daytona, but Deltona. I don't know where it is. Florida man was shot by a mother of 3 after deputies say he broke into her Deltona, Florida home early Tuesday morning, March 31st, because he thought that dinosaurs were chasing him. Officials with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office said this happened at a home on the 2600 block of Libby Court. According to deputies, Joseph Roberts, 32, tried to break into the home around 5:45 a.m. by shattering a front window. The woman inside, a 42-year-old mother with several teenagers in the house, called 911 saying, I don't want to shoot him, but I'm going to have to. Get out of my window. Get out of my window. Sheriff Mike Chitwood said during a press conference that the mother gave White several verbal warnings to leave. When he didn't, she opened fire.
There you go.
When deputies arrived, the sheriff said they found Roberts in the house, and he had quite an interesting story. He told us that the dinosaurs were chasing him, and he thought he got some bad weed. So
okay.
Weed really has nothing to do with schizophrenia, I guess. White was airlifted to Central Florida Regional Hospital in Sanford with injuries not believed to be life-threatening after he was shot in the forearm. He's lucky she was a bad shot, said Chitwood. Chitwood said they were seeking an enhanced penalty for committing a burglary during a national emergency. I don't know what emergency that was. Maybe COVID. I don't know. March 2019. Well, no, not then.
Yeah?
I guess.
No.
Was there emergency going on in March 2019?
I don't know. Huh.
I guess the only explanation is watch where you're buying your weed at during this time.
It probably was spice, that synthetic weed that makes people
that's
crazy.
what it is? Oh.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, at that time of year, is that usually when the hurricanes come through? Or is that later on?
That's later on.
Oh, okay. So what's your next story?
Next story. Florida man accused of... This is so good. Florida man accused of putting semen in coworker's water.
Oh, great. Egg drops.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Oh, don't you say it. Do not ruin egg drop soup for me because I freaking love egg. Don't you take it back right now. It's not funny, you little shit. Okay. Swear to God, Morgan.
Well, by the way, everybody, we recorded this thing Saturday night. We're calling it the PAPO panel. The PAPO stands for podcaster, amateur podcast
No, it's
opinion.
professional amateur podcast opinion.
That's right. And so everyone was intoxicated in some way.
Oh, it
Rachel
was
had a
not.
few
I was
drinks.
completely
Most people
sober.
most people get goofy when they're drunk, but Rachel was like serious as a heart attack. It was
No,
really
I
interesting.
wasn't. See, you have to see. That's my humor.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. I
So
thought
I
you,
will come off as a raging bitch, but I really don't mean.
well, you were drinking something. What was it? It was out of that big cup.
Listen, it's just I have to keep hydrated. I live in Florida.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't alcohol. It was just you were drinking the
No
Kool-Aid.
one watched that when he publishes that. Thank you very
Oh.
much. Have a good day. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So back to putting semen in water that has nothing to do with egg drop soup.
Yeah.
A Tallahassee man is being accused of putting semen in a coworker's water and blaming it on his exhausting work schedule.
Oh yeah, that's what we all do when we're so stressed out and exhausted.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Robert Tyson, 62, faces 2 counts of poisoning water with the intent to kill or injure after the state attorney's office filed charges last week. He was arrested Tuesday and was released from Leon County Detention Center on $2,000 bail. Tyson, who is a former employee of the Center for Dermatology, is accused in the June 26th and July 2nd incidents. Prosecutors dropped 2 charges of battery against him filed in July after the new charges were approved. In court records for the July arrest, a coworker claimed she detected a distinct smell and taste to her water. That's disgusting.
Yeah, why?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, why was that flavor so familiar to her?
And why was there a distinct smell? Oh God. Okay.
Yeah,
She's-
yeah. I wonder why she was so familiar with it.
I hate him.
By the way, that pissed Rachel off because I can't remember what the context of it was, but I queued up that sound effect at your expense and you.
Oh no, I just made one of my very overdramatic facial expressions, which again I find to be funny, but if
Yeah.
you don't know me, it comes off as I'm being a raging see you next Tuesday. But I'm
Well,
really not.
I thought like I had crossed the line or
He's
something.
like, did I make you mad? I'm like, no, dude, that's just my humor.
Oh yeah.
Swear
Yeah,
to God.
I thought like, oh, is she that modest? You know.
God, you guys don't take me seriously. I very, very rarely take anything seriously. It's all in jest.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So anyway, she inspected her mug and noticed a white a white mucus floating in her drink that she believed was semen. Ugh. I hate you. She recalled a similar incident for which Tyson also faces charges a few weeks prior. The woman and her supervisor reviewed security footage and saw Tyson enter her office and tamper with her mug, according to court records. Tyson was confronted and his employment was terminated. Leon County Sheriff's Office deputies went to his house and he invoked the Fifth Amendment, refusing to speak with investigators. Smart man. The woman told investigators she believed the motive was due to Tyson's disapproval in her as a manager. Oh God, she's probably a Karen. He had sent several letters to her and her supervisor indicating that he was displeased. Investigators also reviewed the security footage. According to court records, on both June 26th and July 2nd, he can be seen entering the woman's office with a small specimen cup, then pouring its contents into her water mug. An email Tyson sent to HR representatives at the business also was provided to investigators. In it, Tyson admitted to putting semen in the woman's water. He attributed his actions to exhaustion from his work schedule. Quote, "I'm attaching a letter of admission of guilt and a plea to end this matter quickly," he wrote, according to court records. Quote, "My life is a total wreck right now. I'm so repulsed at the thought of my action. I put a couple of drops of semen in her water. Yes, semen. Why semen? Why put anything in there at all? Question mark," he said. So...
Wow, I mean, That's so strange. I am displeased with you. So now I'm going to contaminate your beverage.
Well, listen, he tried to go through HR a couple times and nobody did anything, and she was probably an asshole, and that's how he tried to
Horrible.
get back at her, you know?
But it's not like she wouldn't notice in clear water, you know. Like if he had done it into her milk, she probably wouldn't have known. Or her ice cream.
I'm gonna freaking throw up right now.
God.
It's just-
Okay. Here's my next story. I didn't even realize there would have been a town in Florida called Isla Mirada, but
it's Isla Mirada.
Isla Mirada. Oh, okay.
Isla Mirada.
Oh, okay, yeah. A Florida man and G-string taken into police custody. A 59-year-old Florida man has been arrested after police say he was wearing a G-string and exposing himself. Monroe County Sheriff's deputies say Thomas Carrells was walking around his condominium complex in Isla Mirada. Did you say it was?
Isla Mirada.
Isla Mirada, Florida, in the skimpy garment. That's when neighbors called police. Carrells was wearing a silk robe when police confronted him. When Carrells opened the robe to show officers what he was wearing, he was arrested and charged with exposing his sexual organs. Maybe he was wearing it backwards. I don't know. His black G-string was taken as evidence. So,
Well, to be honest with you, Isla Mirada is in the Keys, and the Keys are very known for. There's nude bars you can go to.
is that where that's where most of the gay community lives, right? In
Well,
Florida.
not I would not say most. There is a large gay community in the Keys, but it's also a very open. It's more of an open, you know, kind of free for all when it comes to like nudity and stuff like that, and it's fun as shit.
Yeah.
So I find that interesting that was even that he was even arrested for that. To be quite honest.
But most of the time, is it just like women sunbathing topless or something like that?
No.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. Have you ever heard of Fantasy Fest?
No, I never heard of that.
All right, Google it when you have time.
Okay. What's your next story?
My next story is alligator kills Florida burglary suspect hiding from cops.
Oh boy.
Melbourne. This is out of Melbourne. Brevard County deputies have determined that Matthew Riggins, 22, was killed by an alligator in Barefoot Bay Lake on November 23rd while possibly hiding to avoid law enforcement. Investigators say that Riggins had told his girlfriend he would be in Barefoot Bay to commit burglaries with another suspect who is now in custody but not cooperating with officials, according to Major Todd Goodyear with the BCSO. Deputies responded to calls in Barefoot Bay on November 13th that there were two men dressed in black walking around area houses who ran from responding officers. Later that day, Riggins was reported missing to the Palm Bay Police Department. Police searching the area reported hearing yelling, but could not determine the source that night, Goodyear said. 10 days later, Riggins' body was found in the lake. Sheriff's Dives team members encountered an 11-foot alligator behaving aggressively while recovering the body, according to the BCSO. Quote, when the body was found, it had injuries that were consistent with an alligator attack. We had trappers euthanize the gator, and when we opened it up, there were some remains inside that were consistent with injuries found on the body.
Like a sneaker?
Parts of his body, probably.
Wallet?
Riggins died from drowning, and bites were discovered along his legs and body that led investigators to determine that he had been dragged under the water by the massive animal. Goodyear said that the burglaries reported by snowbirds returning to their homes for the winter are being investigated in connection with Riggins and his unknown accomplice. Damn. So yeah, if one of those animals gets you in that death roll in the water, you're done for.
Yeah, that's a huge gator, 11 feet. That's fucking.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
I mean,
and again, instant karma. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, maybe they should have given the gator like an honorary badge instead.
Oh no, they killed him. I guess he was aggressive, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's a danger to the community.
Yep.
Okay, my next one is Florida man accused of spraying business with bottle labeled COVID-19.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So out of Jacksonville. Authorities say a 50-year-old Florida man sprayed the contents from a bottle labeled COVID-19 around the door of a Jacksonville business. David Randolph White was arrested Sunday on a charge of attempted or threatened use of a weapon of mass destruction.
I hate it here. I want out.
Witnesses told investigators with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office that the man sprayed the substance and made comments to employees and patrons that they were now infected with COVID-19. In a Facebook post, the agency said a task force quickly identified White and he was questioned and arrested. The business quickly sanitized the area. He was probably bullshitting. It was probably just water or something.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah. But
Just-
bad timing. Too soon.
It's not funny. It's not funny. We have a very large COVID problem in Florida right now. In case anybody hasn't heard.
Oh, what is it? So is it spiked recently? Is there like
Yes, it's very bad. Our ICUs are at capacity. More people are dying than ever, and it's not joking. It's not funny. It's just bad, and no one takes it seriously. So whatever. I'm fully vaccinated, so I feel.
Me too.
Yay!
All right, what's your next story?
Florida man stood in fire, chanted before his arrest, cops say. Family says he needs help. Well,
possibly.
I think
Like
that's a little,
like most Floridians.
I hate you, but amen, you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. I love you. A Florida man was standing in fire and chanting. God damn, he was standing in fire. That's oof. Standing in fire and chanting before he picked up a stick and started swinging at officers while possibly on drugs, according to a news release from, oh God, this is near my town, from Cape Coral Police.
Mm-hmm.
So Cape Coral is part of my county, right next door. On Friday, officers arrived at a home on Northeast Pine Island Lane. That's actually, Pine Island Lane around 1:30 a.m. to find a man completely naked in the front yard holding a knife, according to police. John Hennessy, 27, of Cape Coral, was chanting and dancing around a fire in the front yard. Police say Hennessy was standing in the fire at one point and chanting, quote, gibberish. He also threw a rock through the window of a nearby home, police said. Hennessy dropped the knife he was holding and picked up a large wooden stick, swinging it at officers, according to police. Officers electronically subdued him and placed him in handcuffs. All the while, police said Hennessy was chanting in an unknown language. Hennessy was arrested on 2 counts of aggravated assault, 4 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of criminal mischief. Police later determined Hennessy had possibly consumed psychedelic mushrooms. He was taken to a hospital for treatment before he was taken to the Lee County Jail. Hennessy's sister, Heather, told reporters her brother was, quote, burning everything, screaming nonsense in another language, and she didn't realize he was naked until police arrived, according to Fox 4. Heather said Hennessy had been in rehab and his behavior had been erratic ever since. Quote, I love him and I wish he'd get help. He needs to realize he needs medication. He needs something, end quote, Heather said.
Seems like Florida is the capital of naked criminals.
Right? It's so fucking hot here. We have to, man.
Yeah. People just, that heat gets to you. Maybe you go into heat stroke and you just take your clothes off and start running around.
You lose your mind.
Yeah. All right. My last story is got the headline, Florida man accused of attacking mom when she wouldn't dress his mannequin. So here's an original one.
Wow. All right.
A 40-year-old South Florida man is accused of attacking his mother after she refused to dress his mannequin. Mikkel Dankner was arrested by Boynton Beach police and charged with aggravated battery on a victim over 65 years old and domestic battery by strangulation, the television station reported, not the television itself.
The television didn't report it? Wow, that'd be cool.
The television was talking to him. Well, maybe from his perspective, the television spoke directly to him because clearly he's crazy. Monday night, police responded to a call from a neighbor who said the 73-year-old woman was bleeding from her face and was being chased by her son. The victim told police she was in the backyard of a home when Dankner asked her to dress his mannequin. When the woman refused, Dankner allegedly blocked her path back into the house. The victim pushed the mannequin down on the ground and ran inside the house. According to police, Dankner grabbed his mannequin and followed his mother inside, where he pushed her to the ground. The victim told police Dankner hit her several times in the head with a wooden stool and stuffed dumplings into her mouth, causing her to have difficulty breathing. The victim was taken to an area hospital where she required stitches. Okay, so she survived it, though she's probably never going to get over it.
She's probably never going to eat dumplings again either.
Wow, this is like some weird,
That's weird.
Ed Gein shit, you know?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like Norman Bates / Ed Gein kind of material there.
Can I just say, since we're doing this topic this week, can everyone just please not judge me for living in Florida? I have no choice at this point.
Well, clearly you're coping with being a Floridian.
Barely.
Most of these people, yeah.
I don't leave my house much anymore because I'm just afraid at this juncture of craziness. Especially this podcast has not helped. Although I still love doing it. So
yeah.
My last story. Okay. Florida man speaks to Local 10 News after girlfriend leaves him clinging to hood of car. This is great.
Oh.
And this is out of Lauderhill, Florida. A 24-year-old woman was arrested Sunday after she drove onto Interstate 95 with her ex-boyfriend riding on the hood of her car, authorities said. And by the way, I-95 is a very big interstate. You guys know what an interstate is. It's one of our main interstates.
And it's the kind of highway where everyone's driving
70 miles an hour is the speed limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tear your clothes off. Yeah.
Patricia Isidore, who was arrested by Lauderhill police on a charge of crimes against a person exposing them to harm, has since been released from jail. Her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Junior Francis, 22, told Local 10 News reporter Alex Finney on Wednesday that he was the man on top of the car. Francis said the couple had a complicated relationship and share a 5-year-old daughter. He said he and Isidore both needed the car, which they both own, Sunday night when Isidore beat him to it. He said he jumped on the hood of the car outside their Lauderdale home to keep Isidore from leaving. She turned the engine on, dropped it in reverse, and turned, Francis said. Quote, that's when things took a turn. Police said Isidore needed the former couple's Mercedes-Benz C300 to pick up their daughter from a relative's home. Daniel Mita, who recorded the incident Sunday evening, told Local 10 News that the woman and man appeared to be speaking on their cell phones with each other during the ride. He said the car was hitting speeds of about 70 miles per hour. Quote, all I was thinking is this guy is going to slide off and hit me, slide off the other side, or if anything, he's going to slide down and she's going to hit him, and then she's going to crash into somebody else, Mita said. Francis told Finney he was actually on the phone with police as his ex-girlfriend drove them from Broward to Miami-Dade County and back. Quote, I actually held on like this, Francis demonstrated. It was with one hand, and with the other hand, I'm on the phone listening to hear what is going on with authorities, end quote. Authorities released 911 calls from the incident Wednesday, including the call from Francis in which he can be heard repeatedly yelling at Isidore to stop the vehicle. Quote, she's swerving the car and I'm on top of the car. I really need help, Francis told the dispatcher. You think? Francis said Isidore finally exited onto Ives Dairy Road. That's when other drivers noticed what was going on. He said they tried to intervene, but to no avail. Quote, the whole fact is I'm still on the car, Francis said. Francis said things finally came to an end in West Park after he was able to take the key out of the ignition. According to Isidore's arrest report, Francis told police he did not want to press charges against his daughter's mother and refused to provide a sworn recorded statement. Francis told Local 10 News the whole thing was still had him shaking and he never thought a scenario like this would happen. Quote, this woman is going to kill me, Francis said. She's really out to kill me.
Wow.
I have to give that man props for hanging on to a car going 70 miles an hour down the interstate.
It would be very interesting to be a 911 dispatcher in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
You hear all the calls that come in, you know.
Oh, I have a friend who's a 911 dispatcher. I think I said that before. I need to get him on.
That's what I went to college for, and I could never get hired here to do that.
Yeah, he got. It took him a long time to get in, but he is one now. I should reach out and.
Did he go to school for that, or did
You
he?
have to go through. He did not, but you do have to go through like a rigorous, leading up to it. All these things, all these criteria you have to meet. I'm not exactly sure what the
Yeah,
criteria are, but it wasn't easy.
yeah, like no criminal record, and
Yeah.
you have to know the layout of the streets really well. Even though I'm pretty sure that you use the GPS, or maybe obviously the ambulance drivers and the police know how to get there.
Well, yeah, and good communication and all that kind of, and how to use life saving, CPR and all that kind of stuff, how to walk people through that, how to stay calm under pressure. I mean, there's a lot to it.
I think they get paid less down there than they do here. Is what stinks.
Which is sad.
Well, here they get something like $52,000 a year to start.
Damn.
I don't think it's anything like that. Last I heard, in the States, it's like $14 an hour.
That's sad. That's
which
really
is
sad.
really shitty wage when you consider that people's lives are in their hands.
And you're dealing with a lot more crazy people and saving people's lives. I mean, that's a first responder. I would consider.
Yeah, you know who gets paid shit too are commercial airline pilots. They have like 200 or 300 people's lives in their hands, and a lot of them have to take day jobs in order to keep flying, which is probably why a lot of them fall asleep in the cockpit. I read a thing, this guy said, not only have I fallen asleep, but I've like woken up from a sleep and saw that the other guys were sleeping, which is not a very reassuring fact of aviation. But yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, it's not good.
No. Well, you have one more story, or
no? That was it.
That was it. All right,
yep.
We're Floridian.
We did it. So everyone who likes those Florida tales, I hope y'all enjoyed.
Yes, I hope so too. Well, on behalf of Rachel and I, thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed the true crime news, or at least the people who are willing to listen to it. And
I think they like true crime news more than other things. So listen, I'm a work in progress always. We all are, and all should be. So constructive criticism, like I said, is always welcome, and and not nice criticism, I laugh at. So yeah, but it does push me and pushes Morgan. We evolve.
All right, thanks guys for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Bye bye.
Have a great week.
Bye bye.